Good evening, folks, and welcome to another chilling episode of Malt and Magic. Last week, our heroes faced daunting trials within the mystical confines of the Whispering Woods, confronting their deepest fears, their darkest moments, and as they each grappled with their inner demons, Jules' keen perception unveiled a very startling revelation. Their enigmatic and tormented guide, bearing the likeness of their lost friend Callum, was none other than the manipulative Lord of Winter himself. So tonight, our adventurers stand on the precipice of the Icy Lord's frozen throne, where they must negotiate for Callum's freedom amidst the treacherous politics of the Fey courts. Will they succeed in liberating their friend? Will the frost of the Feywild claim their hopes? Join us as this tale unfolds in the heart of Winter's Dominion. Now, before we get started, content warnings, as always, do apply. There may be themes of things like emotional trauma, psychological manipulation, intense fantasy combat. Who knows where it's going to go tonight. There may also be elements of horror when I can get my words out. And of course, there will be absolutely tons of adult language and adult humour. So you have been warned. Viewer discretion is advised. But that being said, it's going to be a fun one tonight. So I don't think I've got anything else left to say other than let's roll. Good evening. How are we all doing? I was going. Sorry, there's three of us.
but you're actively working against us. There's two of us on the same team.
Right. A dungeon master is never working against you. I may provide more challenges than you like, but I'm never working against you.
Well, tell that to the storyline and plot you've put out. We got absolutely fucking shafted last week.
Oh, I love it.
Welcome to Malt and Magic.
Well, there we go. I was going to say, welcome to episode 67. Of course, we did announce our winner. We did announce even our winner of the grand giveaway last week. So congratulations once again, Data. All of those prizes will eventually be on their way. The dice tower is currently in construction. I'm awaiting the dice tray bundle, but I have the dice. All the PDFs we will get over to you, and they're all 20 conversion, all those sorts of things. And then you and I, Data, need to have a little bit of a chat around a custom character sheet. So combat sheet, and we will do that.
Be gentle, Data. Be gentle.
Nah.
Very good. So, that being said then, let's run down our lineup for tonight, which is going to be relatively short. The lineup may change at some point throughout the evening. We're not sure if people are dropping in or not. We'll see what happens. But for tonight and for most nights when we are playing Dungeons and Dragons, I am your Dungeon Master and also playing the sidekick character of Takami, the Lord of Winter, and who knows, maybe Callum.
Oh, I do hope so. Oh. Don't dangle that in front of us.
That's what he said to Callum.
That's what she said. Yes, absolutely. I am Dave, and I am playing Jewel of Shadows, the female Tabaxi rogue.
Oh shit, that was it. Right, hello. I am Danny, and I am playing Lex Ordo, the UNT sorcerer. And I hope I get to hear Grellan's voice tonight as well, if you can remember what he even sounded like.
Ooh.
We're going to roll
Just
some
Callum's
really,
dad.
really
Grelin.
high rolls to be able to see Grelin again.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Grelin is probably around 65, 70 years old now at this point, but is a half-orc, so who knows?
They age slow, it's fine.
But then they may have been frozen in the Feywild, so who knows where we're going to be at on that front. That being said, at the end of last week's episode, then you had all faced your trials and come out successful of some sorts. Egeus, Cavan, and Lex all regrouped with Takami outside of this crystal keep. Only to then sort of walk forward as these icy double doors opened and you were greeted with Jewel on her knees as she sort of looked up towards this 8-foot tall Fey Lord who then began to speak to you. And this is where we begin tonight. So I am going to describe the Lord of Winter once again for you all, as you sort of see him now, or see them now, as their form changes slightly. And you see now one of the true forms of the Lord of Winter. This imposing but eerily beautiful individual very much embodies the harshness of the coldest season. Their appearance strikes this balance between majestic and menacing. They stand, as I said, nearly 8 feet tall, with lithe yet commanding presence that feels as if they are carved from ice itself. Pale skin, almost translucent, resembling the delicate frost that clings to winter windows, piercing blue eyes like the heart of a glacier that then radiate a cold light. Almost that cold light that seems to flicker with the northern lights, northern auroras of sorts. He has this long, white, flowing hair that mingles seamlessly with the drifting snowflakes that perpetually surround him, caught in this eternal, silent blizzard that very much obeys his will. His attire is this tapestry of frost and icicles, armour forged from the essence of winter itself, that clinks softly with the sound of chimes as he moves, a melody of sort of the frozen abyss, if one likes. This armour appears both protective in nature but also regal in nature. It is etched with intricate patterns of frost that spread and recede as his demeanour changes. And at the back, and at his back, is this cloak of deep midnight blue that is speckled with silver, very much mimics a starlit winter sky that trails behind him like a shadow. What are you going to do?
Jewel will first of all slowly stand up from a kneeling position and put both daggers back into their belt holsters. And we'll look up at this rather large individual. The Lord of Winter, I guess.
That'd be me, aye.
Do we have to thank you for all of those wonderful little mind games just now? Or is that part of the forest?
I recommend you not be thanking me for anything. But yes, all those little trials that you've been dealing with, both internally and externally, all of my doing.
Do you perhaps know why we are here?
Of course I know why you're here. But before we begin, I think there's a little level, or an element of balance that we need to address here. I'm far outnumbered, at least in this court. And he just holds his hands out, and snow swirls and sprays across you all. You hear the sound of cracking ice. And as you turn around, you see Takami, Cavern, and Aegeus, all encased in ice. There now. That's a little bit better.
There's definitely anger on Jules' face, sorry, and
And in the voice.
and in the voice, but we'll turn around and again see the sheer outmatchedness that they have, and just settle.
Shall we get a little bit more comfortable?
Please. Will they be okay?
Clicks his fingers, and blizzard roils around you, and you now, as the blizzard sort of calms down, you find yourself in a throne room. You see the statues of these icy statues of Cavern, Takami, and Aegeus next to a series of icy statues that are now sort of populate the audience chamber here within. And you see the Lord of Winter seated on an icy throne, but you also now notice are 7 other individuals within this room, quite clearly Fey in nature. I'm not going to ask for perception checks, I will give you these. You see sort of seated closest to the Lord of Winter, a female maybe individual, but their form is elongated, limbs that are unnaturally thin and sort of bend at odd angles like branches laden with ice. Her eyes glimmer with this cold light, and her hair flows behind her in a cascade of frost, quite clearly frost, that doesn't seem to melt, and the air around it almost seems to crystallize into shimmering snowflakes as her head moves and as she moves. On the other side, you see a burly individual, the lower body, this body of a massive polar bear, covered in icy fur that seems to rumble almost like a gathering storm, but the upper torso very much humanoid, broad and muscular, with this wild mane of snow white hair and a beard made of icicles that seem to clatter when he moves his mouth. You notice as you sort of enter into this chamber, he is chuckling, and that chuckling seems to summon a fierce blizzard around him. As you look around the room, you also notice this shell, almost, this icy crystal that hovers above one of the seats, but out of the sides of it are these long extending arms and fingers that extend into these long sharp icicles, and within this ice crystal you can see almost a visage that seems to flicker, sometimes human, sometimes beast, but always shifting. Another individual that you see is this ghostly presence. Again, appears female, her body semi-transparent, shimmering with a soft blue light. Delicate features, but unnervingly perfect. Like a statue carved from ice, with hair that floats around her as if underwater. Almost muffles the sound, and spreading this deep, chilling calm. You see a tall, gaunt figure clad in a cloak of hoarfrost. Their face a mask of frostbitten flesh, hollow eyes that glow with a cold fire. Hands always covered in this thin layer of frost, that as he strokes his finger along his seat, you see leave a trail of frozen patterns as he strokes his finger along. The last 2 individuals you look at, the first one is this creature of sharp angles and reflective surfaces. Resembles this walking kaleidoscope made of ice, but again you get the feeling of a feminine presence here. a body that constantly shifts and fractures the light, casting illusions effortlessly. As you enter this chamber, you hear that there has been conversation going on, and it's her voice that seems to echo out, her voice like the tinkling of chimes, and eyes as you look at them multifaceted like gems. And then you look at the final individual, an individual that wears a cloak woven from what seems the dark of winter nights, speckled with tiny lights like distant stars. His face is this eerie blend of owl and man, with these large, unblinking eyes and this sharp, hooked nose. His hands feathered and end in talons. And you are now sat in these icy chairs, both of which face the court of the Frostbite, or the court of Frost. Aye now, well, aren't we all a bit more comfortable?
So much for outnumbered.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Hi, everybody.
The other individuals, if you like, pay you no attention. They must go back to their hushed conversations behind the Lord of Winter.
After noticing that, then draw my attention back to the the Lord of Winter. You say you know why we are here, and I would assume you also know that we have in our possessions a ability to create portals. This, I believe, is something you were wanting. Is a portal to our plane. Is this correct?
I want for naught, but the bargain that we struck was a portal for Callum. Have you delivered a portal?
There is a portal, indeed.
Correct.
And do I have your word that as you leave, if you leave, that portal will remain?
Is it in a location that you are happy with, or would you prefer one in a better location?
Care not for the location, only that a portal be available to me. At least one.
I think we can say it will remain open as long as Callum and his father is safe with us.
His father? We bargained for Callum.
We did indeed. As you understand, someone has been messing with portals, corrupting them. And it is our full intention to stop not only those that are connected to the Fae, but those of all other planes. We wish to resolve them, to fix them, and to stop those who are doing it. Until we do that, we cannot guarantee that all portals will remain so, even the one that is under our control. Now, that does not mean that we do not have control, it means that we are underway. What we are trying to do, and with the assistance of Callum's father, is track these bastards down.
So you want me to give you one of my strongest powers? A compass in these tumultuous times? Someone who can find me other exits?
But if you think about it, you'll be giving us a compass to help you, right? These people are corrupting Fae portals. They're stealing power from your realm. We want to stop that from happening.
You know what
we
they're
don't want
doing
that.
then, do you? You've witnessed this.
We have, indeed.
which is how the original portal to the Fae got shut down.
We know that one of the lords, or certainly a higher being of the Fae, was unfortunately killed by this portal, and we know that it is due to this that you wanted it fixed and you wanted it repaired. You have a portal now, and it is the ones who have corrupted it that we are going against. Surely you want some revenge to them.
Yeah, we can help avenge the dead Lord of the Fae.
Looks at you and ponders for a moment. You pose a very interesting bargain. Additional bargain, that be said. You see, I know of this shadow that stalks not only your world, but mine, seeking to siphon power, block power, and grow its own influence. That being said, I see no reason to give you anything more than Callum and Callum alone.
But if you think about it, right? Callum does your bidding. You're his patron. Don't you think he would be more cooperative to our cause, which is then becoming our, as in our, us two, and our, as in us collectively, cause, if he had his father as well? A happy Callum is a productive Callum, after all.
Callum was also working for you because he wanted his father back, and if I may also be so bold, you were able to get to Callum, and so is it not feasible that you are able to get to both of them again if they are doing something you are unhappy with? And
That's true.
I'm sorry, I do not know enough of what
Callum has told you of his history.
That was right, was it not, Lex, that he was wishing to do this to get his father back?
Yeah, somewhere along those lines. Obviously, he wanted to work with you as well for some other reason to gain power. He didn't really go into it. I didn't like to pry. His business with you is his business, but yeah, I assumed part of the deal was his father.
He begins to laugh, and you hear the other 7 around him laugh as well, and there's this just weird sound of chimes and icy cracks and chilling winds that seem to echo throughout the chamber. Callum. If I were you, should ye get your friend back, I'd ask him what really happened all those years ago when he stepped through a portal into the Feywild.
I would be happy to be able to ask him again.
Well, now comes down to the brass tacks. If you be wanting more than Callum, then a new bargain must be struck, and I'm afraid a promise of new portals is just not gonna cut it.
We do not say that we would agree to anything, but what are your terms?
My terms. My terms. Make me a persuasion check, please, and I'm going to allow you either to do this individually or with one of you with advantage because you are conversing together.
What? Are you good at persuasion? I'll happily give it you. I mean, I've got a +7. I'm hoping you have higher than that.
+8.
Nice. Do you want to roll with advantage then?
Okay. Fucking hell, dirty 20. It's the best I could do. I rolled a 12 and a 2.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
It's alright, because Matt's going to roll a 1. I'm getting through this whiskey too quick because I'm nervous.
Oh, that's
And it's delicious.
Ponders you for a moment, and it's weird because they just sit there in silence, and it's almost like none of the 8 individuals move at all. I will allow in this moment, while they are silent and while the Lord of Winter just stares at you almost frozen stiff, make me perception checks, please.
Fuck.
28.
7.
Lex
Changing that
is
dice.
so zeroed in on speaking to the Lord of Winter now. Everything else is nothing but a distraction.
Jaws on a
Lex
fucking
just
swivel.
holds on. Jules' eyes dart around in this moment. You notice it now. On the arm of the throne, the same figurine that was used to open the portal. That figurine of Callum that, almost like the dry ice effect, just seems to gently emanate cold. I know much of the Feywild, but how much do you know? And I'm fucking this Irish accent up royally.
It's
How
not
much do
Irish,
you
it's
know
Fey.
of the Shadowfell?
I've seen it. Briefly.
I know a little. I have not been there myself,
Yeah.
but we do believe that our travels will take us to many more planes that we have not traversed yet.
I've read about it in a book. I've read, but I've not actually been there yet.
Why do you ask?
Why do I ask, indeed?
What do you need in
Despite
the
what?
Shadowfell that you wish us to get?
And you feel your jaw just begin to sort of lock up. If I want you to speak, I'll allow it in those moments. Between the Fae and the Shadowfell, across all planes within the so-called Great Wheel, there's a fine equilibrium. Indeed, the Feywild and the Land of Shadow, often depicted as two sides of the same coin. One grows too big, and the other starts to diminish, and that throws all of things into imbalance. It's no secret that shadowy portals in the material plane have become more and more prominent, varied, frugal, whatever word you choose to describe it. My land is weakening. I'm lucky. I have such a presence here. But my brother, whose power is pure darkness itself, well, I've not seen him in nearly 30 of your years. I'll give you Callum. Whatever this shrouded lord is trying to do, you need to stop it. This is the charge I put upon you. I stand... Does unclick at this point.
Then it will be done.
Callum there.
Danny, you're muted.
I mean, I will happily... I will...
Eye shatters on Lex's mouth as he starts to speak suddenly. Sorry, Danny, you were muted.
So,
I'm assuming my silent keyboard still isn't silent enough. I've lost my train of thought. You mentioned the Shrouded Lord there. We haven't mentioned him yet. So I'm assuming you know him. He is behind this with Klein and Shadowthorn, right? But you only mentioned Callum there. You didn't mention Callum's father. I mean, I'll happily shut any Shadowfell portal that I find. But I'd like to circle back around to Callum's dad.
Make me an insight check, please.
Pow! Coming at you with a 24.
There is a brief flash of something that goes across the Lord of Winter's face before it returns to that icy stare.
can I make a... I don't know what it would be. Maybe a history check, perchance? The Lord of Winter just mentioned his brother of pure darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any inclination on whether that is still Fey or more Shadowfell? I only say that because I believe that he wants us to go to the Shadowfell for our enemy, but I still don't know.
I mean, out of character, breaking the fourth wall for a second, from campaign 1, that's the Queen of Air and Darkness's right-hand man who gave me under his cloak, innit? Must be.
Nice. Okay.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, for Jules' perspective, though, roll me a D100, because this is going to be more, does she know it, doesn't she, though? So I'm going to use this kind of like a luck type situation.
70.
You know only so much of the Fae. When you hear a Fae Lord talk about a brother or a sister, you're kind of along the lines of, yes, they are still talking about a Fae individual. As for who that brother is,
no idea.
Some being of darkness.
Okay. If you ever lost your lost communication with your brother, does that mean that they are beyond this realm, or simply is there in any way we can assist you in trying to find information about them, or even find them?
Is this not what I've just charged you with? Close those shadow portals. Defeat the Lord, the Shrouded Lord, that is. My brother will rise again out of those shadows, if he is indeed lost. But who knows? I am the last bastion against the shadows in this icy cold place.
Very good. Jill turns to Lex in a look of, are we good?
You never answered my point about Callum's dad. Is he part of the
What
deal?
was that point?
We defeat the Shrouded Lord, Klein, Shadowthorn, close all the Shadowfell portals. help your brother come back from wherever he is. I mean, that's quite a lot of things there. There's 5 things, and we're only asking for 2 things in return. I think that's a pretty good deal.
You managed to do all that, then I see no reason to keep grilling here any longer. Once you've achieved that, of course.
But do you think Callum is going to be at his best if he knows you've still got his dad? Would he not
Callum
perform?
will do as Callum is bid, if he wishes to keep his power. And I sense a little bit of purpose for that young lad is well overdue.
Jill turns to Lex, knowing we've hit the wall.
In your head, through message, I'll be like, this is the best we're going to get, isn't it? And then the look in your eyes will probably be like, yes, probably the best deal we're going to get. Okay? We agreed to those terms.
Then we have an accord.
A bargain is struck. This one on better terms than your previous one here.
We're getting better at these sort of things. Yeah.
Like we said, we are new.
Lord of Winter
plates.
looks over to where Aegeus is. You do well to remember the rules of the Fae. We may be fickle, but at least we adhere to our own rules, unlike others.
That is true. I do commend you for that.
We understand we are foreigners and aliens of this land, indeed.
Yeah.
And have much to learn.
It's been an adjustment period, shall we say.
Indeed. I may call on ye from time to time if I sense any Fae be needing of your help. I trust this will be all part of the agreement.
We're always willing to help people who are truly deserving of our help.
Very good. Well, if you'll pardon me saying, you've all seen better days. Before I send you back out into the world, you may rest within Winter's Bastion.
That is a very generous offer.
Just checking, that's not another deal we're making, right? That's just your hospitality.
Another lesson in the Fae, folks. Do not look what could be a gift. Don't look it in the mouth, so to speak. I think that's the phrase from your world, maybe not.
Something about a horse,
Don't
yeah,
look
I
it.
know what you're saying. Yeah.
Gifts are not given in the Fae, they are earned. You've dealt with my trials. You've earned a welcome rest. You've agreed to my terms. No one here shall harm you. No further psychological torment will plague you while you're here.
It is nice to know we have had too many of them.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't
it's
recommend
customary
you
in
go
our
wandering.
land.
It's okay. Don't go wandering off again.
We certainly will not. That lesson we have definitely learned.
Yeah, it's customary in our land to show gratitude when somebody shows us hospitality. But how do we show gratitude in your land without saying thank you for your hospitality? I just want to make sure I'm doing the right customs, you know? Do you get what I mean?
You don't show gratitude. Not to people of my kind. You accept what is given and move on.
Then we accept, and we will move on.
Humbly accept.
With our compatriots, if you would be so kind.
I see no reason to keep them trapped here now that you've agreed. I picked the best two for this, for sure. One of you has got an awful habit of running their mouth.
I mean, I'm looking at Edges and he's frozen with his mouth open, so yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Before I send you off to your rooms, which I promise will be to your liking, tell me of this portal you've created for me. Where does it lead? What can I expect on the other side?
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Takami, the frozen girl over there with the pink hair, she has a place in Union.
Takami is freed, just...
Yeah, that girl. She has a place called Kumaryu in Union City, and it's like a martial arts temple of some kind. But she said they had a Fey garden in their temple, and that's where we put the portal. So actually, it's like a nice secluded place to come and go.
Jewel at this point has run over to Takami to kind of like, check if she's okay.
Although Takami will have to make sure, the master on the other side is welcoming, because he may not be expecting visitors so soon. But obviously we can lay the groundwork. So you won't be met with hostility, shall we say.
Takami sort of takes a deep breath and listens to Lex verbally diarrhea all of this information out, and then just sort of places a hand on your shoulder, Jewel, and I think I know what you've agreed. How do I address this individual?
Lordship? Perhaps you remember all of the rules of the Fae? Don't say thank you. We've already broken one because we've made a bargain. Just be kind.
And well played. Another one. What's it cost this time?
Just stuff.
I'll say it in her head. Through message, we nailed it. Don't worry.
She, at this point, because she has the ability, and it freaks you out a little bit. You feel this tendril of thought snake into your brain as she into your brain then speaks directly. When you say nailed it, something tells me you fucked it royally.
No, it's okay because we did the talking. Edgius was frozen. He didn't get to speak to him at all. It's fine.
And she looks around at Edgius and Kevin, and we're okay with this?
They are going
and she points, even though she's speaking telepathically.
They're going to be unfrozen. Oh no, because I don't hear it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, second link opens between Takami, Jewel.
They're going to be unfrozen like you.
Right.
He's going to let us stay here.
Your great Fey Lordship, I'm sorry, I don't know how to address you, but I don't know what this individual's told you. Look, providing there's no ill intentions to my home, then I can give you, as defender of Kumoryu, my assurances that that portal will be open to the Fae for when they need it. Don't get me wrong, if you try to act in any sort of malice, there are safety measures in Kumoryu which will come into force. And you see the Lord of Winter, his long fingers just sort of collect. Interesting. Well, you've agreed to my terms, and I see no reason to distrust this portal right now.
Yeah. It's essentially got a guarded entrance, right?
Know this, though. If you leave here and that portal is closed, Callum will die.
We understand.
Good.
Something you mentioned earlier about earning favors in the Fae, earning what you do.
Accepting what you've earned.
Correct.
What is given.
I assume it would earn us something if we can open more portals or perhaps reopen closed portals. Like the one we were initially charged with. If it is in our power.
Are you now offering to tip the scales in the Feywild's favour?
Simply giving
We've
you
been nothing but
what you have
good to
earned.
us. Yeah.
Especially if it does fuck with the Shadowfell, I will open 10.
Interesting.
Hypothetically, that's not a promise.
Correct.
I feel the vengeance in your attitude, Joel.
I want these bastards dead.
Interesting.
And any who work
And
with
you,
them.
Lex? Your feelings?
I'm not above revenge. I have done it before, and I will probably do it again. As long as it restores balance, obviously.
Needless to say, the chatty one and the silent one also. Pointing at both.
Yeah.
All of you touched by shadows. All of you harmed by shadows. I think a bargain well struck between us all here today. Very well.
I have a follow-up question, if that's okay.
I've got time.
Yeah. As you are the patron of Cabin and you kind of control what he does, or you give him his power. If
Callum,
it's a situation
not
where that's what I said, yeah. If we're in a situation where we're against the wall, the odds are not in our favor, the Shadowfell, I don't know, might be getting the upper hand. Are you somebody we could call upon, or some adversary of yours we could call upon to tip the scales back in our favor? Or is that a thing we can do?
Make me a persuasion check, please.
I'm hoping he can give us an Uno reverse card. Do you know what I mean? So we can use it. Persuasion! 22!
Nice! I was going to ask about can they help with the time dilation, but I don't know that.
Make me a history check.
Can you level us up 5
Just
times?
Yeah, I'll make a history check. Yeah, actually, it's good there. I did read about it. You're right.
I was going to say, you've read about the Feywild?
24.
Lex, as you ask this question, and Jewel, as he says time, you do have that thought of, oh shit,
yeah.
Time dilation in the Fey. Yeah. Lex, you ask this question, and the Lord of Winter sort of looks at you. You'll almost be asking too much, Lex Ordo.
That's fair.
But I suppose I already have your names. So in this world, you're already mine.
Yeah.
Should you need my assistance in the most direst of moments, there may be room for negotiation.
Hey, that's all I can ask. That's brilliant.
In my research of the Feywild, there was something that I have recalled. Can you assist us in any issues of time being very different here than it is to where we have come from? We would, of course, wish to make sure we have not lost too much time to lose.
Yeah.
And give our enemies an advantage.
I already said they would not see you come to any more physical or psychological harm while you be here.
Thank you.
Don't say that! I'll elbow Jewel in the ribs.
The Lord of Winter sort of looks down and scowls slightly, but then sees the elbow in the ribs, and there is the subtle hint of a smile. Lesson well learned.
I think it is time we take those chambers for ourselves.
Yeah, let's stop talking.
In that moment, the Lord of Winter whistles, but as they whistle, it's like the sound of a frosty wind, and there's just this icy flash as what looks like a snow fox, maybe, but again, like the icy wraiths that you encountered, it's almost like the fur is this blast of ice that comes backwards off them, and there's this hint of an icy, almost beard type thing, and this icy canine sort of blinks around just before the Lord of Winter kneels down next to it. Take our new friends to one of the guest rooms. I'll have it prepared, ready for their arrival. And this Arctic canine of sorts sort of teleports next to you all and just looks at you all, and there's an intelligence behind those eyes.
And our friends?
I'll be waiting for you when you get there.
And finally, Callum, when we leave, or now?
I have words that need to be said to young Callum.
That is
when
fair.
you leave, he'll be with you.
Can we play that scene out, or we just have you talking to yourself?
Absolutely not.
Just you on two cameras. Just like...
Trying to do both of those accents would really fuck me up. Takami at this point is probably just going to sort of elbow you both. Time to go. Time to fucking go. Are we going with what this thing?
After you, Mr. Fox. And then follow the fox.
You all blink out of existence for a moment. And then you enter into a weird room. Like you expect throughout this castle, the rooms to be crystal and ice and cold and brutal almost. But as you enter into this room, yes, it is blues, but there is a warmth in here. There is a warm light that seems to glow from what look like a collection of will-o-wisps inside an ice jar of sorts, or a lantern on the ceiling. There are beds that are laid with what look like lace bedspreads, but as you touch are not cold, but quite clearly frost and snowflakes. There is a fire that burns blue, but radiates warmth. And in that moment, as you land in the room, Cavern and Edgius are there, but they are still frozen.
Well, at least we can keep our eye on them, I guess.
Well, Edgius can't get into any trouble, right?
I was going to say, look, the second he's out of that ice, put a scarf around his face and tell him to shut the fuck up.
I mean, I've seen you remove his arms and stuff.
Hole.
Can you not just take his lower jaw off or something like that?
Again, he speaks as a skeleton. I think he would find a way around it. Just,
I mean, he speaks without lips. Fuck knows what he
shoves.
What's going on.
You're not wrong.
And we need to persuade him not to say anything until we are out, and then he can give us an earful. But my
But-
God, that was tense. Lex, well done. Seriously.
Honestly,
Does somebody want to give me the
Okay.
skinny on what just happened? Because I made a promise and I need to go and deliver on a promise.
The
got
other thing that
Callum
we were
back.
trying to do to Kami was also, if we can provide them other portals, then maybe we can get them to switch out yours. But
Yeah,
for
thank you
temporarily,
for-
We're just working for the
thank you
Fae
for
now.
agreeing. Yeah, well,
we're working for
yes
people
and
on our
no.
side.
But yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. He wants the same objective as us. He wants the Shadowfell shut down. But yeah, thank you for agreeing to protect that portal. We need that open as long as we're completing our mission. It can shut as soon as we're finished. But yeah, if we keep it open, he won't kill Callum. So you need to make sure the
And if
master
it
of Kumario doesn't.
Closes. I heard he's going to kill Callum, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are the only ones
So
who
here's
are
my question. Sorry,
Go,
Joel.
go.
Why is Callum so important right now? Like, what is it about Callum as a person or an individual that makes him so important that I had to risk my life coming here? Like, Edgius has almost died 3 times. Lex, you look like shit. Cavan looks
Thank
like
you.
he's looking at Callum in this, like, pure crystallized. He looks like he's got 1,000-yard stay. He looks like he's been on a battlefield against 10,000 enemies. Like, what is going
The
on?
only way I can, he's one of us, right? Callum has saved our lives a couple of times. We owe him. He's a good man deep down. Like Edgius, he's worth saving.
Look, we were also trying to get Callum and his father. His father as good as we understand skills around getting to planes, different planes and otherwise. I am also hoping that when we get Callum back, we will also be able to... Well, he will have a better understanding as to how to traverse these planes than we will. He will have, of course, traversed these planes with his father.
And unbeknownst to us, it's kind of our fault Callum's here, so we had to rectify our own mistake a little bit. But actually, with hindsight now we know the Shadowfell and the Feywild are kind of intertwined, and the more power the Shadowfell gets, the more power is diminished from the Feywild. It's our responsibility to keep that balance, and Callum has a tie to the Feywild. So it's all connected. Do you see where I'm going?
I think so. Okay. What's next?
What's next is we
Sure.
rest,
Yeah.
so that we are sure that we can get out, regardless of what bargains have been struck. At least we know that we can make it out. Then, I think we do have to ask Callum questions when we leave. Hopefully they will
He
lead...
did kind of hint at it, but we didn't want to pry too much. But I think we need to get the full story.
We do. Once we have
Yeah.
more information, I think we need to figure out if we are going, well, almost straight to the Shadowfell, or more precisely need to gather the materials we need to get to the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
Land of Shadows. Well, fuck.
Yes.
Frying pans of fire has come to mind, is all I'm going to say.
Oh, we are jumping into both.
Oh yeah, it's a lose-lose situation, but it's got to be done. And I have to say, thank you for everything you've done, for helping us get Edgius back, for keeping him alive. But when we get back, are you coming with us, or are you going to stay in Union City / Kumario and keep an eye on that portal?
I don't know yet. I need to speak to Sensei Matsumoto and somebody else I need to speak to about that portal.
And I'll look at Frozen Edgius when she says that.
No, not him. There's things that need to be said there, but I don't know. That's up to him. Almost.
Well, you'll either be the source of his strength or his greatest distraction, or maybe both. I really don't know.
Takami, am I understanding it correctly that you are also fairly well established with the houses of Union City, and therefore well placed to keep them informed of this current portal situation, and perhaps even gain aid from them in guarding it? I do not want to diminish your ability to be able to guard a portal, just sharing the load.
As I said, there's... Kumorio's well defended.
But I feel that is from the outside.
No. There's things there that... I've been there for a long time.
You're going to tell me you have a dragon?
Inside check.
Oh!
Fuck off! She's got the 7 Dragon Balls as well.
Oh my god. No, it's a natural one. That's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, dang, that was the worst time to roll
I know.
one.
Literally the worst time ever, but I love the mystery.
Takami's face is flat.
Jewel was joking anyway, so he looks away.
Sensei is
The
a
right
dragon.
protections. Put it that way.
Sensei's a dragon.
So much to do. So much to do. Right, well look, I'm fairly okay. I still don't trust this place, I'm not gonna lie. Like, fire and whatever, but... I'm happy to keep watch, if that's what you'll need.
Good, because I want to go to sleep. I've suffered a lot of emotional trauma, physical trauma. I just want this day to be over.
Takami, I will take the second part of the night so that you can get some sleep.
I will take no watch, if that's okay.
I don't really sleep as such. I kind of just exist for a minute. Well,
That's unnerving.
I tell you what,
You made it sound creepy.
wake me up if you need some company. How about that?
okay. That I can do.
Joe would like to go over to the popsicles of Gavin. And I mean, she's really shit at this type of stuff, but can she look to check if they are okay?
Make me an investigation check, please.
Are they being magically healed? I don't know. Investigation checks. 15.
15. You look at Cavan's sort of icy statue, and you can see that the hand is on the hammer. Like, there's almost a motion to attack whatever's in front of him. And the eyes very slowly seem to move around, but there's a definite lethargy to it. And then, as Lex sort of lays down on one of the beds, you see Cavan's eyes just begin to close, and that hand sort of, even within the icy statue itself almost seems to shift as it goes into a very peaceful stance.
Kevin, we'll see you tomorrow, and we will all be out of this. You too, Edgius. See you soon.
And it's almost like there's the slowest of winks with the Jack Skellington like skull expressions we have going on. Very good. So, anything else you wish to do before you bed down then?
As bedding down, Jewel will close her eyes and be like, Watcher, I hope you're there. We're deep in it now. But I think I've only made it so far because of you. Thank you. Shit. Shouldn't say that here. Fuck.
Lex, are you doing anything as you fall asleep?
I would just like to thank Cog for being in incognito mode the whole time. He's been on private browsing, so you've not really heard from him a lot. But he'll come out to congratulate me, and then we'll bed down.
Shakes off a bit of ice from the wings.
Yeah.
Congratulate me, Watson.
And then we'll go to
I
bed.
will say this with Cog, though, that Cog does sort of flutter up onto your shoulder, and one of the legs just creeps behind your neck and ting, 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 taps the metal plate.
And then just before
And
we
as
go
Cog
to bed,
then-
I'll say,
Okay.
go on. I was just going to
Right,
say,
okay.
we're embracing the chaos now, Cog. I'm just going to roll with it.
And as you say that, Cog sort of almost slides down your arm and then rolls onto the bed in front of you. And as it rolls and then faces you, where that eye was previously like just this shining yellow beacon, it now looks like that chaotic energy that you encountered in your trial.
Oh, good. He's a ticking time bomb.
Not necessarily.
Seriously, you get your metamagic sorcery, that is going to be amazing.
I'm a clockwork sorcerer
you-
who has to roll on the wild magic surge table every now and again.
I fucking love it. I mean, that is just a marvellous. Best ever.
You bed down. Jewel, you close your eyes and sort of ask that of the Watcher, and as you fall asleep, that rumbling voice. I am always watching, Jewel. Everything that has happened has always been meant to happen. And the threads of fate even, grow closer and closer together. You drift off into sleep. Unbeknownst to you two then, Takami seats herself down in the centre of this room, and those spectral arms sort of flow out from around her as she just brings herself into a meditative pose, and then the eyes just flash open and she sits there and stares, silent, still. Where the eyes are pink, they momentarily turn purple before returning to pink. And those spectral arms absorb themselves or reabsorb into her body, so to speak. A long rest is had.
Yay! Thank fuck for that.
Pressing that button right now.
I've already done so for Cavern and Edgius. And as you wake, you see Takami is there just sort of looking around Edgius's statue and this icy sculpture, and the same with Cavern. Sees you two wake. This place is so fucking weird. Like, Cavern's totally healed. I can't tell with Edgius, but the broken ribs are reformed.
I mean, I feel absolutely fantastic. I think it's the best sleep I've ever had.
Have any dreams?
Ah,
I
I
think
think for the first time in a long time, I don't think I did.
I think I was too tired for for normal ones, and we have not had any creepy ones for the last 48 hours. So
Yeah. I almost feel leveled up, you know. Some might say.
I'm sorry, leveled up. Is this like a...
It's something that happens, you know, after a really good sleep, maybe. You know, I feel.
I didn't know whether this was sort of like... I know I've heard government speak of leveling up, like making things better. I've never seen anybody follow through on it, but who knows?
I mean, I've nearly followed through. Yeah. I feel like I'm better than I was last night, put it that way. I feel like I'm leaving here with more than I came. Most of it is trauma, but let's push past
hopefully it is also Callum.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hope so. At this, there is a gentle knock at the door.
Please enter.
As the door doesn't open, a figure steps through, and it is one of those 7 individuals that were seated behind the Lord of Winter. That ghostly feminine figure steps in and looks around. That semi-transparent body of hers shimmers with the soft blue lights, delicate features, and the hair that just flows like it's underwater. And she looks around, says nothing, but then just points and holds her fingers out. An icy table appears in front of you all, and ice-like sculptures of food begin to appear, almost as if they materialize out of the water vapor in the air and crystallize into these shapes. She turns and flows out, and as you watch her and then look back, you look at this table, which has now just become like a blue wooden table, and it is littered with food.
Jules starts to say,
And Takami probably would elbow you from the other side this time.
Why do I have this problem? Seriously, this is ridiculous.
You're far too polite, Jewel. This is the problem. Like, be less polite.
I'm just gonna start
Take a
telling
leaf out of his book and points at Edgius.
I'll just tell everyone to fuck off all the time.
Maybe find a happy medium.
I mean, you know, there are some people out there.
Points at Lex.
Yeah. And I'm currently finding a happy medium shoving croissants and fucking crumpets in his face.
I've never had a
So
blue
here's the
crumpet.
question then. What would be Lex's ideal breakfast?
Fucking hell. Well, I've lived in it would be Cheerios in the shape of gears. Right. It would have to be hot and warm, so I'd have to have something warm and cold. So I'd have cold cereal. Then I'd also really like
Gyrios.
Gyrios, yeah, I'd have Gyrios. And then a UNT specialty, which would be like a banana leaf toasty.
Oh,
Fucking hell, off the top of my head.
very good.
I don't know.
So you find these foodstuffs that, almost as you think, I could really go for some of that, they are in front of you. Jewel, what would you eat? What would be Jewel's perfect breakfast?
Jewel
Genius.
would definitely have. Yeah, these little parcels. No, would have definitely grown up with the style of cooking around there, and would have loved that. So it would definitely be like croissants with salted butter, and it would be like, you know, you then have them with some sliced meats and stuff like that in the mornings. Maybe a bit of veg. Not veg, fruit. I meant fruit. Fucking hell.
Fruit. Takami steps up as well and sort of reaches out for an icy plate, and as she holds her hand up, there is a perfect grapefruit that she sort of finds then an icy knife and slices it in half and bites into it. It's like, oh my god, that is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Who is your god? Out of curiosity.
Oh, sorry, I should have said gods. It's just a saying. I don't really adhere to the whole idea of deific power.
Cool, this is heavy for breakfast.
Why
Let's just
do
go
you-
back to eating.
Sorry, I was going to say, do you all
Do
have
I?
gods that you worship?
I've recently discovered Kronos, who I have an affinity towards. He wields the fates.
Kron who?
Lord of Time, and fate.
Right.
Yeah.
Joel
I'm
That's-
not,
that's
like, even with the whole
interestingly,
weird pantheon shift shit that's been going on for the last 30 years, I've never heard of that asshole.
Yeah. He's long gone.
Joel's looking very interestingly at Lex, remembering what the Watcher said about fates aligning. And then says, "Have you at all heard about the Watcher?"
The Watcher. The Watcher. That's a name that has been heard on many a whisper. Again, this, like, 30 years ago, from what I'm told, there was the whole big pantheon, really, really, like, impactful. Then the ley lines started playing havoc and power shifts, and I suppose it's kind of like what is happening here, like Shadow versus Fae, and so yeah. Sorry, yes, I've heard of the Watcher or like similar things. Supposedly dead though, come back somehow, was trapped, and I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I don't know either. I know very little. But
Great. I'm glad we had this conversation. That was awesome.
all I know is that they are in the astral plane, which is where I think I read where gods go to die, or when they die, they go to the astral plane.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Most of the... I do know a little bit about the astral plane, and sort of those spectral arms coming out again.
Yeah.
This is that.
Oh, okay.
Like the astral plane, any of the land or like floating islands, any of that, is literally the bodies of dead gods.
Oh, that's creepy. See,
Yeah.
I kind of died and went to the astral plane. I'm not a god. Don't even start it. Lex, shut up. But just... that's weird.
If you went to the astral plane, you didn't die, you hovered.
True, I did hover.
Like if you die, you go to the river. If you hover, you're between.
I was killed but didn't die. It's probably the weirdest and most accurate way of saying it. Yes. So... and then...
It's a long story.
Every day I have new questions about all four of you dickheads.
The problem is we
Sorry.
constantly have more questions, and we have this laundry list of tasks we have to do. Figuring this shit out is hard.
Yeah. But as a round
Fucking
robin
exhausting.
roundup, I quite like Kronos, but Mechanus is my guy. He's about the great equation. He's not a god, he's just all powerful. He likes the demigod, the Watcher. Aegeus has a thing with a moon lady and some guy who drives a boat. And then Cavan is all about Paragon. There you go, you've caught up.
Cavan, I got. Aegeus, that makes sense. Moon goddess. I mean, the ferryman, yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I mean, look at him. Moon goddess. How the fuck did that happen?
Possibly another Fae, maybe? I'm not sure.
We
Are we sure about that, Lex?
She helped us, we helped her. She gave Aegeus some
She'll be
seeds to
a
plant.
goddess if she's Fae.
Well, they're pretty freaking powerful, aren't they? Are they like...
I mean, yeah, but you still got these tiers of
demigods,
power. Like,
sort
your
of?
S tier is proper god. Like, Fae are more like quasi-deity in terms of power level, I think.
the trouble is
And you got demigods, angels, all those such things.
Oh, we've met an angel, I think.
Yes, we did.
Yet again.
You were there.
Fucking more.
Were you
more,
there?
Was I? No.
No, came shortly afterwards with Aegeus.
The Paragon. Oh, God. My head is mashed.
You mean this was recently? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We all need to have, like, just a sit down and this is all the shit I've got on my plate, and just get it out there.
We keep trying to do that, and every time we end up on right, we need to go and do this, and, well,
Yeah.
we end up losing our lead who was in prison, come and try and find Callum, lose the ability to be able to then well, I suppose we never lost it. We don't have the ability to then track our enemies. I
mean, we've got a lot of stuff on a lot of plates. I don't even know where some of my plates are, to be honest.
Yeah, sums it up pretty well.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody needs to write a list.
We keep doing it, and the lists just keep getting longer and weirder.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, our first thing, get these two out of ice, get Callum out of ice, leave before we all freeze to death.
Yeah. Leave politely but quickly.
Sounds like a solid plan. Are you eating anymore, or are we done? Or...
a couple of croissants are shoved into Jules' bag, 100%.
Yeah.
Both of you just fucking... Bag of holding is now full of
and unashamedly, kind of like there is with my beard, Jewel has got bits of croissant all over, just hasn't got a clue.
I'm just going to get the tablecloth, wrap it around everything, and just put it in the bag of holding.
Guarantee you it's going to be an empty tablecloth that doesn't even exist when we leave, but still.
Empty chairs, empty tables. Very good. You pack it all up, and Takami's just going to be there, just like, yeah, great, cool. Let's go. And she turns, and as she turns, that same Arctic canine appears. Looks like we've got a ride.
Can I pet that dog?
To the council chambers, please.
You all bamf down. And you are back in the audience chamber. You find a pretty empty chamber apart from these various icy statues, of which Edgius and Kevin are still two of them. The other 7 Fey individuals gone. And an individual sat on the throne, but not the same form that you saw yesterday. Instead, the form that you'd seen before, that individual with blue skin and blue clothes, almost like the purest of ice, like pure Arctic heart ice, if you like, that deep blue, with these icy antlers that grow out of their skull. I trust you're all rested well.
Remarkably so, yes.
Yeah, I feel great.
I'm glad. Good. I wouldn't want you half effective as you go and try and tackle this thing.
We will do with haste.
Well, I suppose I've got my end of the bargain to hold up. Callum, you may go. Remember what we've spoken about? Callum sort of steps forward, and you see an individual now a bit more haggard, where this long flowing blonde curly hair was. There are now streaks of white stubble that grows across the chin. Wears this fur sort of half jacket, if you like, over the waistcoat, the leather waistcoat and the simple tunic that they were wearing when you last saw them. Does have pants on, does have trousers on, and boots, and just sort of looks, and there's a look of animosity at the Lord of Winter. I will remember. Hello. And looks at you all and smiles.
Callum, it is so good to see you.
And you, although it seems like you've kind of already seen me.
Yeah. It was you, but it wasn't you. But
long story.
Something to tell me on the journey home.
Indeed.
Oh, we've got stories to exchange for sure.
Indeed.
I don't have many stories. I am literally been an icicle for. How long have I been an icicle for?
How long has
Good
it been
question.
in school for?
Too long, my friend. Too long. Too long. But you're back with us now.
Glad you made it such a priority to come and rescue me. And winks at
Got
you.
it as soon as we can, my friend. As soon as we can.
Hey, it wasn't months.
And
I call
this
that a win.
beautiful lady is.
This is Takami, Callum.
Nice to meet you. Well met.
I'll say in his head, this is Edgius's lady friend.
And as you
Can
do
we get
that,
some
Takami
ideas?
speaks into your head and goes, "Sorry, I didn't turn this off. I can still hear everything you say."
I said lady friend.
Alright, whatever. Sure. And Callum's sort of looking at this. Oh! Well, Edges has been busy then, I see. And Cavan's got a hammer. There's this. Two icy statues shatter. And Edgius and Cavan are just there, and Cavan's just sort of taking a deep breath, just like. And then Edgius is just there and goes, "What the And Takami just literally fist in his mouth, like.
That was a
"Shut
good
up.
fisting.
Don't say a word. We'll talk when we get out of here. No, just shh. Enough."
We have trespassed upon your hospitality far too long, and it is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance and leave. Callum, please follow us, and we shall head home.
I wish you well in your journeys and your tasks to come. Plainer detective agency. And another name now given to me.
Fuck.
Cock and balls.
Takami is there just going, "He's hearing me. Let that be. Fuck. God damn it.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse.
Let's just get out of here."
Which way is the way out?
And can you move the forest?
Fare thee
please?
well.
I don't want to have to do that again.
Fey Lord of Winter just waits for a second and then... Are you done?
Well, I don't know how to say goodbye without saying the wrong thing, so I'll just leave. And I'll just turn around and start
Bon
walking out.
voyage. Sweeps his hand and there's just this curtain of snow that falls across you all, and as it settles down to the ground, you find yourselves on the other side of the lake by a strange icy wooden fence, and you can feel a uncanny warmth behind you as you look and see a tree with a portal in it. Cavan at this point is gonna start, like, looks at the lake. "No, we gotta get to the lake. Like, no, let's do that now. Let's go."
Kevin, no, another time.
We did it.
Duck.
We've done it. Where was you thinking the
did it.
dais? No, we've
So
solved
we gotta get the Edgius. Need to help Edgius.
We will help Edgius. We will. One thing at a time.
Edgius is still there, fisting his heart. "I'm there."
Oh yeah, his memory. Yeah, we'll get Edgius's memory back, but we've got to leave now.
We will
At this
explain
point, Takami just
shortly.
literally wheels Edgius around and pushes him through the portal, and they go through. Callum's going to lean up against the tree, waiting for the other three of you. And as he leans up against the tree, I think all three of you see that. And there's a moment where all of you flash back to your trials and that pose, which is just uncannily similar to the way he stood during those trials. Probably unnerves you all slightly.
Callum, it's
Where are we
good
going then, darlings?
it's good to have you back, but I'm going to enjoy us having a conversation.
Yeah, you look a lot more smug once you defrosted. I have to say, I've missed it.
A little bit taller too, I feel.
Come on, let's go.
Cavan, you coming, darling? And Cavan's gonna look hard at that lake. And there's a steel resolve on his face. But he turns and marches through the portal.
We forgot to ask for Edge's memory. Oops.
We did.
To be fair, we got Callum. I didn't think we'd do that.
After you, darlings.
I'll go through.
Callum is just sort of ushering you through. As the two of you step through, then Callum takes one last look at that castle. And you hear it, even though you've just stepped onto the other side. Sound passes fairly easy this close. I am coming for you. Don't you fret. I will have vengeance. And steps through. You feel the instant warmth of Kumo Ryu. Almost like a tropical heat, having been in that Arctic wasteland for so long. I think that calls for a light change for starters. But I'm also going to say, as you step through, let's go and take a short break.
Oh, we did it. We fucking
Made
did
it
it.
out of the Feywild.
And we didn't have to roll initiative, which is
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, we lost some shit, but we knew that was kind of knew that was going to happen. Okay.
Well, let's all go have a moment, and then we will be back here shortly. Hello.
Yo.
Hello.
There we go, then, my friends. As I get something out of my eye, we have successfully rescued Callum. And now exit into Kumo Ryu. So yes, after months of out-of-game stuff, Callum is finally saved.
We're not gonna tell Callum that, obviously.
Well, in-game, I think it's been weeks. So,
yeah.
So yes, very good. As you all exit out, then Takami is finally going to remove her fist from Edius's mouth. And is there going to be like, ow, your teeth really fucking, ow. Like, she's got teeth marks in her fist. And then, right, well, you've all got stuff to discuss. I have things to go and do now. So yeah, do we want to agree a time and a place to meet?
Are you going to square it with your boss that it's okay for the portal to stay here?
I am going to speak to those people I need to speak to.
Yeah.
Takami, once again, we really appreciate it, and I'm happy that I can now say this without fear. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And she's going to look at Edius like, anything to say? And Edius is just going to be there like, what? Thanks. Takami just sort of, I'll see you all later. And wanders off. But instead of wandering off in the direction of the dojo, she wanders off in totally the opposite direction towards the rock face itself. And disappears amongst trees. Callum is going to sort of look at you all. Seems a very charming individual.
Oh, yeah. I'll let her just explain why she's here, how she got here, what she means to the group.
Don't do that to me, Danny. Don't do that to me.
I don't mean it can happen off camera. I don't mean right now.
Edius will just probably look. No, you go first. We can talk about that in a bit.
Do we perhaps need to head down to the tavern and catch up as to where we've all got to, perhaps?
Sorry, you bought a tavern since I went missing?
No, we simply go to the tavern we've been staying at.
Oh. Upmarket establishment, is it?
Sure. Let's go with that.
For us, anyway.
I mean, I met you in the middle of the forest. So, yeah, fine, let's go.
Jewel will turn to Cavan and say, Cavan, I understand your reticence for leaving. We will speak about it.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna go get it.
Exactly.
That's true.
Fucking Callum.
Yeah.
It's fucking Callum.
Exactly. One success at a time.
It's fucking Callum.
Jewel will start leading the way
Thank
down
you
to
for the
tavern.
raid.
Hey, thank you very much.
Welcome, raiders. You join us having these two individuals manage to successfully get Callum out of the Feywild for reasons. The Lord of Winter clearly wanting something anyway, so the negotiation's not as difficult as first thought. And
Yeah,
we are
remember
now back
also
on
that you're not
material
meant to
plane.
bargain with the Fae, and it's exactly what we did. So, thumbs up that we're doing the normal type of stuff that you meant to do. So,
Numerous times. Plus,
Just
the Fey
no,
Lord now
no,
knows everybody's name.
everyone's name. We might as well just give. You might as well just give them the registry of the Union office, Union City, and just be like, here you go, have them all. Sod it.
Absolutely. Callum, at this point, as you decide to exit Kumo Rio, is going to look back at the portal and look at you, Lex. So we are leaving this here, then, yes? No double cross.
Yeah, there's quite an important detail that if that portal closes, he will kill you. So it kind of has to stay open for you to stay alive.
Don't suppose he said how.
Didn't really
Or how
want
to keep it open, or how to
say.
kill you.
No. If you close it, darling, I don't suppose he said how I would die. What am I, just going to, like, fall over, or...
Do you
Shut
want
my
to
suit.
test it?
Oh, no, I'm just
didn't
trying
ask.
to understand how his influence can reach beyond somewhere that he doesn't exist.
I feel like we want to test it.
Yeah. Let's not push any buttons, right?
Very well. What is the name of this tavern we're heading to, then, darlings?
It is, insert tavern name here,
Jarl's Hearth. Jarl's Hearth.
The Jarl's Hearth. That sounds like a fine
Yeah.
establishment. Jarls are supposedly like lords, aren't they? Yeah, lead on.
Yes, it's full of the upper class of society. Sure, let's go.
That is, of course, why we are
Make an
going.
insight check. Which is an 18. If you want to make a deception or persuasion check, Lex, it's entirely up to you.
I got an 18.
So, Callum's looking at you. You've got a lot better at this, Lex. I can't read you. Like, it's just... Let's just go.
Oh, I was lying. It's full of drunkards. Yeah.
Well, more the merrier. Let's go.
Yeah, we head down there then.
Very good. All four of you then weave out of the gardens of Kumo Ryu and then find that sort of big gate that marks the entrance to the city, and then the long downward path that leads you back towards Union City. And as you exit out, you look over to the left to sort of, as you enter into Union City, and exit from the path, you look over to the left and see the barracks and sky docks. See a number of crates being loaded up, and one individual that looks at Edius. I've not forgotten what you did, you jammy bastard! Don't you fucking dare come back here or I'll have your fucking head!
Oh shit! Yeah, he stole all the potions, did it? We did pay for them.
Callum's... Hey, you did, but he still fucking stole them and ran off with them! I'll be gone with you!
He literally does not have a brain in his head. I'm sorry.
Callum again looks round. Sounds like you've all been phenomenally busy.
You know, making friends.
Always making friends.
So, one point of order. Where the fuck are we?
We are in Union City.
Oh. Union City. Do you know what? I've never actually been here.
As you may or may not be aware, we are roughly northwest of where we lost you, so to speak. We have stayed roughly in the area since, and have sought a lot of help and tried to battle a lot of other issues. It has been interesting.
What happened to Morse Tacy? Because last time we were on the run, we sort of made a plan to capture a dwarf elf thing. I shouldn't say that. That's incredibly racist of me. A half dwarf, half elf.
And we captured said individual. They have been working with our enemies, and we extracted that information with extreme prejudice. We then have passed on the information about the fact that the whole lot of them are incredibly crooked, and we have yet to have this confirmed, but the councils of the area are currently persuading them gently, or not so gently, to relinquish their thrones.
Oh. I only asked because of that, and points down at a sandwich board where you can see what looks like the front page of a newspaper, and it literally just says Morse Tacy under martial law.
So that's kind of what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Oh. It does say on the subheading, Elders missing and on the run. I suppose that's not the result we wanted.
Less so perhaps we can just put that onto our endless list.
I'll put it on the thing of, the list of things to discuss.
Sure.
It sounds like it's quite...
Yes.
Lead on, darling.
I do so. And...
Good. And you descend through that first tier, beyond the barracks and skydocks, and then into sort of the upper tier, if you like. You pass by the Black Veil estate. Callum sort of looks over longingly for a moment, but Cavan even looks over longingly for a moment. But you continue on down. You wander through the streets and sort of see the ruined church and building that was the orphanage, and Callum's just sort of looks around and the whole city's going to the dogs, if you tell me, darling. Look, there's bloody decrepit buildings everywhere.
We just saved some orphans from a demonic cult.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
There was the odd earthquake involved as well, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I've missed a lot. Tavern.
We've
no
grown
more
a lot
distractions.
in a short space of time. Between you haven't been gone that long, but a lot has happened.
It certainly sounds like it. That's
Yeah.
Jarl's Hearth, you say? That looks like it's there as two half-orcs just fall out and chuck up on the floor, and sort of then somebody hands them a tankard. Hey! And they sort of down it again. That seems like fun. I'm going to go and do that, if you don't mind me. And Callum literally walks straight into the Jarl's Hearth, throws the doors open. Barkeep, your finest ale, please. My friends will pay.
Remind me, what's the name of the of the owner of the tavern?
Rurik Lodrock.
Rurik.
Keith.
Good old Keith de Cleaver.
All I've got is Keith in my head now. Rurik.
Rurik.
Hello, Rurik. How are you doing?
Well, welcome back. You've been gone a long time.
How long have we been gone? That is a very good point.
Well, when I say long time here could be anywhere from a day to a week, because Who knows? We all get very drunk. No, I think you've been gone, maybe a day.
Okay, that is good.
Okay.
As our friend Callum has said, drinks all round, please. That is
By all means.
5. Is it 5? 5.
Do you want an ale, or you want something a little bit fruitier?
I shall have the
Elvish
usual.
wine?
I shall have the usual Elvish wines. The rest of them probably ale.
I'll have the wine as well, please.
Oh well.
Gentle sir.
Fruit tea for me, please. Thank you.
You realize I'm running a tavern. Fruit tea.
Okay, I'll have a whatever Jules having. I said fruit. That was fruity, right?
This is better. This is much better. Yes. Fucking fruit tea. And Edgius and Cavan just like, oh. And they wander over and sit down. And Cavan just punches Callum in the arm. Fucking Callum!
Callum, what was it like there?
Yes, I suppose we should explain this. I need to... Yes. I don't know. I was quite literally a little icy statue, apparently. Up until the point you freed me. So I have fucking no idea. But I have been there before. So I do know what it's like. It's cold. It's miserable. All 8 of those Fey Lords that run that court are the most depressing individuals you have ever met.
What is
There's
your
not a
connection
wind
to them?
Fancy.
I know that they have your father, but is that all? Is that the only thing?
Well, as I previously explained, the Lord of Winter is my patron. My powers come from him.
Why?
Yeah, but he explained that you went to him not to get your father back initially, but you went for him for other reasons when you went to the Fae.
There's a longer story here, but Edges is. Oh no, Edges. You finish your drink, Edges. You carry on. We'll bring you back in a minute. Yes, my father went missing in the Feywild. Turns out he was recruited by said Lord of Winter to help find, and not the only Horizon Walker to sort of be pledged with this, or given this task of finding where the portals were being corrupted and closed, and trying to find those rifts that the Lord of Winter could then exploit. I went looking for my father, and there's no two ways about it. I kind of got my father in a little bit of trouble. Edges, welcome to the conversation. As Edges finished his neck in a pint, doesn't.
Oh, that was some good bubbly. Whew. Sorry, I was out of it there, focusing on my drink. Well, continue what you were saying, Callum.
So, Edge, just to catch you up, obviously, Callum is here. There has been lots of discussions. Takami is currently off discussing with some defenders of Kumo Ryu about how they're going to protect that portal that's up there. And what else is important? Yes, Callum's now regaling his story, so to speak.
What did we have to give the Lord of Winter to have him sat in this pub with us at this
That's a
moment?
good question, because you were frozen for the most of it.
So Edgius can ask because he doesn't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's all right. I'll circle back to that in a minute. Sorry. Callum, please continue. Sorry, that burp just came from nowhere. I apologize.
It's fine. It's good to see you too, darling. Yes, I, being the naive, idiotic boy that I was, may have caused my father to compromise his bargain with the Lord of Winter, and therefore got him trapped in eternal ice.
Okay, wow. I mean, Are you saying
I mean,
that something you did meant that your father has now slighted the Lord of Winter?
I stopped my father from opening a portal, which went against his bargain, and therefore the Lord of Winter took his wrath upon my father.
I'm not
This
going
is
to
why
lie.
we don't bargain with the Fae.
Well, that's wonderful,
Yeah.
and we do
Definitely
a
don't do that.
fucking wonderful job of ignoring that particular. Fuck it.
So about how we got you back, right? We may have made a deal with the Lord of Winter.
Oh, we made
Callum
another
gets
deal.
very
But-
serious.
Was it
But
better than the one I
long
made?
game? It's better because I can still remember shit. Sorry to bring up your
Okay.
trauma.
Oh, it's all good. Edgiest
But the long game,
one single tear.
Yeah, and I'll wipe it with my coat as I'm still talking to Callum. But the long game, Callum, is we get your dad back at the end. That's the plus side. And all we need to do is shut down Shadowfell portals, defeat the Shrouded Lord, defeat Klein, and keep the portal to the Fae open. That's all we got to do.
But, sorry, what?
Sorry, what?
Oh yeah, you were frozen. You didn't know what we did. We made a deal. Get
Even
Callum back.
Cavan at this point is probably going to go, fucking what?
So, look, deal of the century, guys. We have to keep the portal open in Kumario, otherwise Callum dies. So that's pretty
We've
simple.
been over that, yes.
Yeah. But then we have to close every portal to the Shadowfell that we see, which we would have done anyway.
I was
So
going
don't
to
worry
say,
about that.
but, please give us credit. We have bargained to do something for the Lord of Winter, which is our main objective.
Yeah, what we were going to do anyway is essentially what we deal to do. He doesn't like the Shrouded Lord. He doesn't like Shadowthorn. He doesn't like Klein, because the more powerful the Shadowfell becomes, the less powerful the Fey world becomes. So he wants us to help tip the balance back in the Fey Wild's favor, which we're happy to do, right?
Did he say he wanted you to balance it, or did he say he wanted you to tip it in the Feywild favour? Because they
That's
are
what
two
I was
very
gonna
different
ask.
things.
We offered to tip it further in the Feywild's favor if he did us another bargain and gave us your dad, but he refused that bit.
He did, so simply balancing it is what we are going to do. I did try
Yeah.
to get your father,
We are
Callum.
100% certain on that particular point that he is not expecting
Well, I was
us
until
to-
you asked me the question, to be honest. I thought we did a good deal, but now stop asking me questions because you're making me question myself.
Yes, what we are going to have to do is sleep on it and review the VOD of this conversation and then find out, okay?
Did you get a contract?
Hang on, I'll look at me bag of holding, and magically a contract will appear between us and the Lord of Winter.
I happen
What's the
to...
point?
You pull out a random piece of parchment hoping that it's a contract, but as Callum then rightly says, the Fae don't do contracts, darling. It's very much
No,
verbal,
this
but
is
they
this
are
is a brunch
binding.
menu.
So, I
Sorry
mean,
to railroad, but just the nature of the Fae.
So, I assume that means that, you know, once we've done all of this stuff, then we've you said once we've done all that, we keep Callum. Callum's off the hook, but
Yeah, and we get his dad back, but then we also need to get your memories back.
I mean,
I'm sorry we couldn't work that into the deal. We barely got Callum back, but
sorry, you
Kevin,
said
we
memory. You
promised
said memory.
Kevin.
It's just triggering the word memory. Just
Roll
Too soon?
back just a little bit further. What memories are we talking about, and how the fuck did you lose them?
don't bring it up.
so.
Well, I feel like this might be important to the fucking task we have at hand.
Okay.
Here's what I would say is we don't need to get my memories back. What's important, guys, is that we as a team come together and solve the problems that are bigger at hand here. Now, I want to ask Lex and Jewel, when you're saying balance this out, are we talking about number of portals in existence? So are we saying that, 3 and 3, or like 2 and 2, 1 and 1 kind of vibe? Or are we saying the sheer amount of like area land that they hold within their own plane? Did you surely you read the fine print of whatever they were talking to you guys about, and what we're
I'm starting to think we didn't do as good a deal as we thought we did. All of these extra details, do you have the answer to this?
Look, the other thing I need to say is, look, we got Callum back.
None of us are dead.
Fucking
Let's
Callum!
think of the,
None
let's
of
think of the
that.
victories.
Callum. Yeah. This
We've all
is
been
true.
on a spiritual journey. We've all grown as individuals. We've all relived a lot of trauma. But
I've
We
quite
got
literally
Callum back.
grown, no longer
we've got
short
you.
of high school.
We've got you back. Takami doesn't want
Where
to
is
punch
she?
you in the face anymore. She's negotiating for that portal to stay open. I don't know what she's going to do about that.
Yeah.
But we've done the best deal we could in the circumstances. Granted, there might be some nuances and some fine print, but the gist of it is, the enemy of our enemy is our friend, and the Lord of Winter is kind of on the same page of us in terms of what we want to achieve. He wants us to achieve as well.
So look, as long as we don't intentionally screw them over, surely it is better if we toe the line as best as we can.
Yeah.
As in, we don't believe we need to give them anything that we do not wish to give. And we simply need to, I think, whatever is growing in the Shadowfell is using portals to grow. Maybe attacking the portals is good, but we also need to get there and find out what the hell is actually nicking all of it.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. In terms of our plans going forward. Callum, by the way, I just have to say, it's a fucking pleasure to have you back. I can't wait to see your cock tomorrow morning. I really think...
So forward.
It's the way of the world, Callum. And so are we gonna just I don't know, for example, hire one of those sky boats and just comb back and forth, almost using that star-touched ability that we seem to be connected with to try and find portals? Or are we gonna just try and actively what's the next step here, guys? Is it to balance shit first or to defeat Klein and those guys? What order are we doing this shit in?
I mean, okay, so great point,
Yeah.
Ed. Yes, we very much have reached a point where we know what we want to do and we need to find out how we are going to do it. A point that we saw on our way in, Edgius, I know that you were catching up with Cavern. The Elders of Morstacy have gone on the run since Morstacy is now under martial law.
Nailed it.
I wonder whether we do need to find more of them and extract that information with, as I so quaintly put it before, extreme prejudice.
So you're saying do what we did to the other guy, but way better, and we're actually going to get information this time, and hope.
Hey,
I guess
we have 3 more goes, if my math is correct.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many elders there were, and 1 is dead, so 2 are dead. But meh.
Yeah, hey, I'm, dude. Whatever you guys think we need to do going forward, I support it 100%. And I like whatever you need me to do to make sure that we pull this thing across the line, guys. I'm there. I'm locked in.
I'm thinking, right? I have a Shadowfell key, an Onyx Shadowfell key. If we could somehow retrofit that to become a Shadowfell portal tracking device. I don't know if that's possible, but it's something we could look into. But we also thought about going back to the Crystalline Isles because there's tunnels underneath. We were going to investigate those. But we also found out that, what was it? Shadowthorn or Klein has been to Thalissa and that other place that I can't find in my notes here. Hang on.
Whilst Lex said Shadowfell Onyx Key, can Jewel make a history check, or can you just remind me, DM, Jewel, the object that Jewel was helping steal in her origins?
In your origin story,
Yes.
was indeed an obsidian gemstone.
Obsidian gemstone, yeah.
Rosendum, because Mara sent her spies to Rosendum and Thalissa to see if they'd heard anything about Shadowthorn and Klein, so we can ask her as well, which may give us another lead.
Okay.
That's where I forgot.
Okay. So
Guys, I realise there is it's been a few interesting and intense few days, has it not? You noticed I was a tad quiet on the way out of the temple, having been up against those horrible creatures again who caused me my downfall prior to us meeting Edges and Kevin. It brought back clearer memories of stuff that has happened. One, I would like to just make everyone aware. I did know Mayanora growing up. And she was very unhappy with her powers. She did not like them very much. However, she did get some potential assistance, but I fear it was corrupting assistance from people I think were from the Crystalline Isles. All this happened around a time when I did lose my friends, which you all know.
So, okay, Jewel. First of all, rest in peace to Mara. Not to Mara, to Mayanora.
Yours dead?
No, relax, Tom. Calm yourself. Yeah, no, that's super interesting. It sounds like here's what's up. It sounds like, based on what we know from what we learned from Mayanora, and all the other objectives we have, which are essentially shut portals, deal with folks. It sounds like the objective here is to just follow the trail of information, and along the way, if we can shut down any portals and basically almost put like notices up, like contact the Planar Detective Agency and let us know if you know of any Shadowfell portals, and like just start, getting word out. I think as long as we then are on our own path, then we'll start getting those letters in, and we can take side little stops to go and deal with things as we, make our way through trying to deal with these dickheads that we've been trying to deal with. So my thought was this: the Crystalline Isles has been mentioned to us multiple times now. We believe that there's a portal in tunnels underneath there, right?
We believe that there are people who have been heavily involved in the creation of the people involved in this under the tunnels. To be clear.
In that case, that sounds like a good place for us to at least start, whether it's gathering information, or you also mentioned that the Crystalline Isles has a group of like wizard folk or something, like dudes who are like, I imagine, like have wands and pointy caps that kind of like bend like lightning. But my thought is maybe they can possibly give us a map. They've got to have archives. If they're wizards, the only way they learn their magic is through learning shit, so they must have archives that could tell us where the portals are. That seems to me like a good place to start.
I think it is all a very good idea. It also does lead me to what I wanted to additionally say about what I remembered, and that is, in my attempt to find out where all of the issues were coming from, the portals in my village, I did travel. As you know, I met Lex in Thalissa. So these are things I did. In my first attempt to leave, I went to It was Elunor, or was it ANF, DM?
When you were doing your bit within your backstory
story,
piece
yeah.
was
a young warthog.
I want to say it was Ahanath, but I will double check for you.
Anyway, in one of the islands near More Stacy, I was in one of the cities, and I initially worked with the Serpent's Cloak, or a member of them, to try and steal a obsidian piece that was locked up. Lex, you talking about that, I wonder whether it may, if we get the chance and can track it down, be of use to us. It also maybe just be a rock, and I am sorry if it is. But I would first be interested to find out.
Wrong? It's Eleanor. Sorry.
It is Eleanor. I wonder if, in passing Eleanor on the way to the Crystalline Isles, perhaps we can attempt to track it down, even as much as we have a very rocky relationship with the Serpent's Cloak, ask where the fuck it went. I wonder if I can even find the individual who I once worked with. It is better to ask them than actually ask the Serpent's Cloak. Gain further information. And perhaps we can also just seed the information that we are not against the Serpent's Cloak. Try to stop them from stabbing us in the back again, perhaps. So, something along the way, if we get the opportunity, I think is a great chance.
I think that's Joel, I think you're speaking absolute money ideas, gold pieces ideas. I think if we can do this right, we can navigate through dealing with all of these problems. It seems like one kind of thing at a time. If we can somehow, and what I'm saying is kind of a radical idea, but I think this is interesting. To keep balance, if we shut Fey portals and Shadow Dark portals to keep the balance, and we we find out what the balance is, and then we retain that, but lower it down so that there's maybe one or two ways in or out of the other planes, and make it that there's a hub that then people could come to, and put all the portals kind of in one place, then I'm thinking at the end of all of this, and I'm not sure what your guys' thoughts are, but it sounds like our final destination is the Shadow Dark, or the Shadowfell, or the Shadow Place. Wherever that is, it sounds like we're going to need to deal with something crazy. I mean, Callum,
I think we go in there now and we die. We
Yes,
do not
I
have
agree.
enough information.
Yes, exactly. And so my point is, I think at the end of all of this balancing that we do, and all of this managing this stuff, we've collected Callum. We've got Mace in Stonebark. We've got Takami up in Kumaryu, my baby. And we've got all this support. I reckon we do something out of do you guys remember that tome? I think it was called Revenger's Endgame, and it's that moment where they all it describes them all coming out of sick portals, and it's this sick team up scene. If we can gather people as we go, allies as we go, when the moment comes to it, we could call upon a fucking army to be at our back to finish this thing. We could lay siege to whatever lies ahead.
The only concern I have with that plan is if we close any form of Fey portal, the Lord of Winter will know, and he will kill Callum. Currently, he's on our side, and he even said we may be able to call on him for help in a dire situation should we need it, if it means preserving the Fey.
On
Callum?
that point, darling, you said I would die if you closed the Kumaryu portal. Were those the specific words that were spoken?
As far as I can recall, it was as long as a portal remains open.
A portal or that portal?
I think it was the portal.
You see, if it's the portal, then you can close whatever Fey portal you like, as long as it's not that one. And I should.
I mean, it's your life if you want to gamble it.
Well, I'm all for testing these things out.
My man. I just fist bumps Callum.
Are we saying that we want to close those, or do we not want to open one in a more better location and swap it? And
I'm thinking temporarily, my thought was this, essentially. Like, all these portals around the place feels like a nightmare. If we could somehow make, like, a hub, like, almost like, like a station of some sorts that might, that one could maybe put, like, I guess, tracks into, kind of, in quotes, then maybe people could get on different platforms and, like, go to the different places and almost be like, cool, if you want to travel to a portal, and it would funnel it all in. It means we would be able to know who's coming in and out if there's only one portal to each plane. We would be able to know, I guess the queues would be a nightmare, and that's not something that, I'm not standing in a fucking line for anything.
I mean, you say that, but how many people are currently using these portals? I think it is very seldom.
That's a great point, and that maybe validates what I'm saying even more. That bringing them down in number would just reduce risk of Fey fuckery on the material plane, Shadowfell bullshittery, elemental plane nightmares, anything like that might be out there. The less portals there are, the better it is, I guess.
So, is our plan of attack, see if Mara's spies have come back with any information. Mm-hmm. If they have, they may send us to Thelis or Rosingdom. If not, Crystalline Isle. Is that our next stop?
I love it. I think that's a fucking badass idea.
I think I might have asked you this before, Matt, in my book, around trying to use the Shadowfell key as a tracking device, and I think the answer was I know what the frequency is to tune into it, but I can't turn it into a beep, 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 tracking beacon, can I? Would I need to?
So the short answer to that is no, but the question you've just asked has given you the answer. You know the frequency of the Shadowfell. So you find the right individual, it's absolutely possible that you could develop something to help you find these things.
We need a Toph from Avatar The Last Airbender who's like blind and can feel things with their feet, frequency vibes, and lead us. Yep. Yes! Oh my god, yes! Fuck, where's that guy when you need him?
Oh, where's
a blind monk?
People? Do they have bat people in this place?
Do they have
bat people or dolphin people or anybody who uses echolocation?
Great question! Yes, Daddy!
I'm just thinking, who chooses?
You've never seen anybody of that sort, so you have no idea.
Maybe an owlbear will help us.
Not a bad idea.
Fuck me.
Also, I'm just going to again put it out there as a tiny little sidetrack that we may want to do because it will be helpful. I may or may not have used some leverage in terms of monetary leverage for a very useful ring for one of you. And we might want to go back and pay for it so that you can then have it back. Why?
Is that in Dryad's Gate?
It might be.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I also have absolutely fucking no idea what you're on about.
Might be a ring of
whose
spell
ring?
storing.
Are we talking a physical ring, or are we talking like a?
I'm afraid, Callum, we are
ring
talking about a physical ring, and the ring of spell storing might be quite useful to either
what do we
legs
need to
or
bring
edges.
back? We used it as leverage for what? What do we need to bring back?
You simply need to pay for it now. No. We need to pay for some goods of sale. I used that as insurance that we would come back. We need to pay for
that. You put a deposit down.
But yes.
Yeah, at some point we just need to bring it back. As long as we bring it back, we're all good. I think that was. It was like a rent it.
It was a guarantee.
What did you get in return for?
I have no idea.
The ring.
It may have been a vial of poison that we used on there.
Oh yeah, shit! Fuck. Oh fuck yeah! it was.
One vial of poison. God damn it, Jewel. I tell you what though, that spell storing ring would be great to store the spell gate seal in it, if we ever needed it to just close a portal. Ow!
Lex, that's yours.
So,
Lex,
just gonna
take-
throw this out there.
Lex,
Like,
take that
how much
ring.
money do we collectively have right now?
I can't attune to any more items. Collectively, as the treasurer of the group, we have roughly 3,000 gold.
What?
And whatever
We
is
have
in
that
Edge's-
much?
The ring of
And whatever is in
how much is
Edge's
the ring of
boots.
spell storing worth?
There's no money in my
Well,
boot, Lex.
again, you have to
Don't be
remember we
silly.
are
Jingle
not trying to
jangle,
buy
jingle
the
jangle.
ring back. I use that as guarantee. We don't need to buy that back. We need to buy, effectively, just buy the potion we've already used.
Right. Could you not have just given the fucking money rather than the
We-
import?
we
I
Yeah,
didn't
but
know the
wealthy.
monetary
George
value of
did
the
it.
ring at the time and didn't realise it was way
Sorry.
more.
No, sorry, darlings. I'm being incredibly judgmental and I need to stop.
You can judge us
I
on the
have
actions
no
we've
room
made
to
when
judge.
you've been a frozen.
Yeah,
Oh,
you've been
man.
nice.
Fucking
Calm
weeks.
down, Callum. Calm down. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just reveling in being alive, I guess.
Let's not forget who stitches
Chatting.
up in the Feywild to begin with. We're like telling them our names, not telling us the rules. So you're welcome. We come to get you. Sorry, I'm projecting my own. That was petty. I'm sorry. I was deflecting.
A bit of chaos leaking out there, Lex.
Wink, wink.
And I'll check I've not got any holes. And I'm not
Check your fly isn't down.
Checks his holes.
This chaos is dribbling down my leg.
Dude, Jesus. That's what you call it now, is it? Chaos.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like we need a sky boat to get us from place to place quickly. It sounds like we need to get to Mara, and it sounds like we need to maybe steal some more rations from that old guy we saw at the dock the other day.
No,
or
no.
those
Just
health potions.
really
that
no.
might be a really
Absolutely
no. You don't
not.
like. Well, we got so many health
He just
potions. It
threatened to
made so
kill
much
you
sense.
5 minutes ago.
Well, it's neither here nor there, I suppose.
I cannot remember how much we said, and I think we may have mentioned it, but one of the sky ships that we did see may well be, closely resembles the ship that we traversed here on, and we know the crew well. I think it is very well worth us asking them for passage. And
Okay.
find out the monetary value of a sky ship and maybe buy it. What?
I think I was gonna say, you guys know the ship, which means you probably know how to break into the ship when people aren't there. Was what I
Again,
was gonna
edges.
say.
When we
That
break
makes-
into the stuff of the people that like us, they don't like us
yeah.
afterwards.
That's such a good point. But sky ship? Are these circumstantial friends or are they real friends, Jewel? Is what I'm asking.
They would kick our asses if, yeah.
Say what?
Okay. That's fair. I don't want to get my ass kicked. I've
Again,
had
edges.
enough ass
Just
kicking.
remember, I am willing to get back onto a ship that I nearly died on.
I mean, I'll be honest, that sounds like it's a total, youth. It doesn't sound like the ship was the problem in that situation. I'm going to be honest, Jewel.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for putting that out there. How's your memory?
One tear. One tear.
Shots fired.
What one's...
Even Callum at that point is just going to lean back and sort of like look at having.
Too soon.
Just sounds like
Yeah,
a touchy subject. I'm just. Another
Touche.
ale, anyone?
So, anyway,
Touche. Edgius will extend a fist to Jewel for a fist bump.
small fist bump, we both look mildly annoyed, I think.
Okay, so if we get the
Call
ship,
control.
I also need to stop at Stonebark, Jewel, on the way through. We could pick up Mace as well, which might be helpful if we.
Let's collect
if
as
we
many
want.
NPCs Matt has to voice along the way. as we can.
I'm about it, dude. I'm so
Sake.
about it. Let's start building a crew on this airship that
The
is
crew on
gnarly.
the ship, Mace.
It's already a
Callum,
fully stacked fucking
Callum.
airship.
Yeah. Oh, Takami's definitely coming with us. There's no way I'm leaving my love interest.
We'll pick up
in
the magistrate
fucking
from Fate
Union
List that
City.
we've abandoned to death. We'll pick him up.
Yep. But I need to go to Stonebark because I need to visit your dad, Jewel. I believe he is making a sword for me, and it would be. I hope it's available when we're passing. So if we can, we'll stop at Stonebark.
Sorry, we
then
had
go
a
to-
whole Jewel family reunion moment that I missed, did we?
We
God,
did,
you've been gone a
Callum.
long time.
We
You have
did.
just loads.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have.
I thought you said it'd been a couple of weeks. This sounds like I've been away for years.
You guys sounded like a couple of weeks.
Oh. To be honest, we've had a lot of existential crises in the time you've been gone. Every time we come to save you, one of us nearly died. Important side quest, you know how it is.
This feels like a lot of excuses. Like,
To be
I
fair,
know
you
I'm
weren't
not
going anywhere.
high on the
You
pecking
were not
order,
going
but still.
anywhere.
Oh no!
Well,
you weren't
obviously
the
I was
most-
fucking ice. Not fucking ice, but I was ice.
I wouldn't put it past you.
Edgius now, obviously, as in his mind, the first thing you said, so well done.
Yeah, indeed. Callum, look, you actually were always the first priority. What happened was, we're just not. We haven't been as good as a team at like staying on task. But that
Oh, no
I think,
shit.
I appreciate the sarcasm. I appreciate it. It's missed. We've been missing it. We've been missing it. I think that's all it is. We missed it. It's good to have you back, buddy. Fuck. Have you
Honestly,
met Takami, by the
I
way?
think it's good to be back.
Have you met Takami?
Say again, sorry. The
Takami.
charming young lady that's, yes, apparently I'm not allowed to speak to because she's your lady friend. How
Oh,
did that
I
happen,
mean-
by the way?
You're welcome, Idris.
I mean-
I told him he's your girl.
Lex, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, but I hope you know that even though back when I was in my origin story that I did a little bit of time ago, I was monogamous. This version of Edgius is actually now polyamorous. So actually, if whatever Takami, I'm joking. Please don't sleep with Takami. Callum, you're beautiful and your cock is massive. Please just don't.
Sorry, I thought you were propositioning me, not me, having an open.
Can you tell
season
me
of-
what polyamorous means later, please?
Yes, I would be glad to explain it to you. It's like, shapes or polygons, Lex? It's like that, but like a relationship of shapes, Sides,
As a
vertices,
man who is an expert in
vectors.
geometry, that made no sense.
Jill turns to
That might
Calvin
be
like,
the best explanation I have ever
Yeah.
heard for polyamory ever.
Just people smushing shapes, is that what they do?
One
in
could
some cases
argue,
it can be.
yes.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that is
And it
what
doesn't matter. You can all
Did you ever
can
have
all
one of
actually-
those toys, Lex, as a child, where you had to fit multiple shapes inside multiple holes? It's a little bit like that.
But then some of the shapes would fit in the
you
other
know
holes
where
they
I'm
weren't
from?
meant to, but they still did. Like that's it. That's
Of
what
all
it
you
is.
know of me, did you think my childhood involved toys?
Rubik's Cube?
I had an Etch-a-Sketch, a Rubik's Cube, and a tower with
Sudoku.
Pong on it. That's what I had.
And a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
When in reality, you just had one of those bats with a ball on a string, like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So, I think I think we've got our heading. I mean, if we can stop at Stonebark, go to Eleanor, and then
Where
go to
in all of
First
that
One
did we have a heading? Because I'm lost.
Weirdly, Callum,
I think we get
I
it.
think I've been with Edgius long enough that I actually understood that, which is kind of concerning. I think what we need to do, however, is check what else do we want to do in Union City before we leave, if anything. I'm going to bring something to the table, and that is,
More
We do-
alcohol?
well, I mean, bar's there. Another round, thank you. We need to get our way out of here, which we have discussed. I would like to pop back to Cavan's lady friend, and they probably know.
Sorry, Cavan's got a lady friend as well.
Yeah, oh,
What
absolutely.
the fuck is going on here? Like, this is the important details, people. Like, share.
I am perpetually single still, just so we all make that clear.
We can solve that problem, Lex. Don't worry.
Can we put you back? I've realised why we took so long to say that.
Callum, we'll blow you a kiss. I've missed you too, darling.
Well,
Okay,
look,
so-
I was thinking that they would have a decent amount of information potentially on the Serpent's Cloak, and of that information, it may help us avoid them, if not also intentionally track
That's true.
them down. Either or, it is good to have
Well,
either
we
of
need to see
you.
Mara either way, so asking your questions
I
is
think
just an element.
asking Mara for that information is just a very good idea. Plus, I'm sure
Callum.
that Callum is going to need to, see her intimately.
Also, Callum, just so you know, Mara is a lady of Union City. She's like one of the
She's not a prostitute.
Lex. That's not what I meant.
The way you said that, Edgy, it really did sound like that.
No, I meant like a highborn. She's a
A
highborn.
noble of.
Oh, she's a noble.
Yes.
She's a
Well,
black
I mean,
veil.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not very noble. You should see her in front of Cavan. Jeez.
I have seen her genitals by accident.
Yep. That.
Her dress had a slit, and it went all the way up to her slit.
I'm so glad that Kami is not here. She would die.
Cavan, anything to add on this point? And Cavan's just going to be sat there with his face deep in the air. No, he's right.
No, it's fine. I'm all good.
Fucking Callum.
Literally the best Cavan impression right now.
It's the only one I've got. I'm going with it.
So. Okay, well, I mean, what time of day is it? I when we walked into this pub, somehow I forgot everything that had happened in the last hour to 2 hours prior to that. So, what time of day is it?
So you would know, having sort of exited down from Kumo Rio, that we are looking probably around mid-afternoon of whatever day it is.
Thank
right
God
now.
it's
Shit,
not
we got
8
loads
o'clock
of
in the
time.
morning and that we're
Yeah.
we're drinking
got loads
beer.
Shall we?
I mean, you're in the Jarl's
collect our
Hearth. It could be
things?
fucking 8 a.m. and
Well,
everything.
no, that's
so
the point.
carry
I
on.
know that we could walk in here and be drinking ale, but I realise we don't want to be.
Shall we go grab our things from upstairs? First of all, go get a place on the ship. Then go to Mara, and along the way, do any shopping we need to do of resources and supplies before we leave Union City. And then I reckon we bounce. And then I feel like that would be a really nice place to, close this little
put an end
portion
to
of.
this. Yeah. Can we do the shopping off camera though, or was that be 3 more episodes?
And it'll be Christmas.
Yes, we can.
Indeed.
Yes, we can. So, out of character then, on that point, if there are items you're after, as in generic items, if there's anything more specific, then yes, we can have those conversations as well. But yeah, send me that off camera and we can absolutely do that.
Hell yeah.
Very good.
Awesome.
So at this point, Callum's going to look at Cavan and be like, so, this Mara, tell me how that happened. And they end up having a whole conversation, like hushed conversation around. And Callum's just like, oh, she's like, she is so above me and just amazing. Like, it's fucking Mara. Like, just, wow. Wait till you meet her. She's so, just, oh, wow. Yeah. Any other conversations that need to be had as more ale is brought to the table? And elven wine.
I've only had the 1 glass of elven wine after I got pissed last time. I'm not a fan, so after realising the fruity drink Jewel got was not fruit juice, but actually alcoholic, I will stop. So Lex gets gobby after he's had a beer.
I'd like to just talk to Callum and
Art imitating life.
Yes.
imitating art.
Love you really, Danny.
What are you trying to
We don't need to have a conversation about it, Matt. But Edgius would just take a moment to speak to Callum and just be like, dude, I totally fucked it in the Feywild, and these guys nailed it and got you back.
Pause. Let's do that.
Okay.
Because that's important. So Callum sort of does, after having a conversation with Kevin, just sort of sidles over to you. So, darling, do you want to tell me about how you fucked up in the Feywild?
Not particularly. It was some sort of nymph or fairy, or but very tall fairy, like an exceedingly tall one. It was very tall.
Where did you meet this exceedingly tall fae?
She was called Glimmermere. Ed just pulls out his piece of paper that is his to kill list and double checks the name, and then folds it back up and puts it in his pocket. Yeah,
I wish I'd been in a position to warn you about her. She is a colossal cunt.
Yeah, I could not agree. I could not agree. Seriously,
I love alliteration.
Fucking speaking to the fucking choir, dude. You are preaching to the choir. That's some serious shit right there. No, Cal, I actually just wanted to have this conversation to tell you I have missed you a lot, and I am super glad that you are back. But I just want you to know that you are back not because of anything I did, and these guys are who you have to thank for that. And I just want that to be clear, because I don't want to take any of the undue, glory or appreciation on your behalf. And I just want you to know that I am going to put all that I can into making up for not being there in that crucial moment when you needed me and I let everyone else down as well. But I just wanted to tell you that I fucking love you. Can't wait to see your bare ass and your cock tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. And dude, it's just great to have you back on the team. I felt like me and Lex have been holding the spellcasting down, and when we both run out of juice, we're fucked. So it'll be nice to have another spellcaster back on the team.
Oh yes, I suppose there is that, and I think some things have definitely changed. But we'll get to that, I suppose. Look, with the whole Glimmermere thing, we've all now made deals we don't want to make. I have a plan.
You have a plan? Guys,
they know our names. In order to break that deal, there is fable, legend, myth, whatever you want to call it. If we find their true names, we can break those deals.
Holy shit.
Colorist interested, Callum.
Yeah. Is there a
lot of research.
Ellis Island, that place that's across the seas in New York? Is there a registry in the Feywild that would have true names? Is there a holder of true names, or an onomancy name wizard?
Well, I suppose the one individual that would hold all of the true names of a particular court would be the leader of that court. So we could treat with the Queen of Air and Darkness if we really want to fuck over the Lord of Winter, but that's trading one fate for another.
The Queen of who?
The Queen of Air and Darkness. She rules the Unseelie Court.
Oh.
Some
That's
call her
cool.
Queen Mab, others Queen Maeve. That's many names. Don't know her true name. And then on the Seelie Court, you've got Queen Titania, King Oberon, a bunch of individuals. All fuck nuggets, if you ask me. But, yes.
Well, whatever we need. Hey, look, my plan is the classic for like knife to the throat. But if we find a name along the way before I get my knife to her throat, then so be it. I'm cool with that.
Edgius, I mean, I love your enthusiasm. You did get knocked to shit just because she wants to backhand you. So
Yeah, but
let's go with
she's
the
a
name
very big
thing.
woman. Like,
Yeah, but
you're gonna
Julie-
know right side. I imagine that's a really good evening. But yes,
Muscle mommy.
Look. I understand that, Jewel. But you'll be glad to know, and Edgius will pull down his sleeves to reveal the weights that he's been wearing around his wrists and ankles for ages. I've upped the
ever.
weight. I've upped the weight, actually. So I think I'm good. I think I'll be okay.
how does that
You-
work when you don't have muscles?
I've stopped asking those questions. It just works.
He simply is Edgius, and that is the only way that we can describe it, really.
I'm
And I
more of a
wouldn't have
concept
him
than
any
I am
other way.
a thing.
Oh, Edgius, he would have you.
Oh, Callum. Oh, okay, son. Shopping?
Yes, let's.
Thank you for the conversation, Callum. Appreciate you. Fist bump.
It is a genuine pleasure to finally be able to speak to someone other than the inside of my own brain, which I have to say is rather disappointing.
Was there something like
not-
echo?
I would imagine talking to yourself, you realise how
Jules had too much
of
over
a
mine.
I have. It
sarcastic
is very nice.
prick you are. What?
Lex, we need
No,
to address this.
that's
We
fine.
need,
I've had too
we
much
need to
wine.
communicate. Yeah, I had too much.
I'm not going to lie, I love this version of Lex. Can we do this more often?
I'm
No.
down. I don't.
The last time, Callum's the person who's got me twice. Got me drunk twice in my life. He got me shots one time and I didn't know what they were.
Shots, anyone?
Okay.
No, shopping? Okay.
Shop-
well,
uh,
Maybe
shopping,
later.
Shopping first, then.
shopping first.
Yeah. Then.
Very good. I will say then, off camera, you all go upstairs, grab all your shit, come down. Rurik looks at you. Oh, leaving so soon now. Well, it's been a pleasure having you all here.
Keep the tab open, Rurik. We'll be back.
And I'll
You're
flick
not
it with
settling
gold.
now. Catches it. It'll cover today. I'll keep your room for you as well. Why not? Most people sleep on floor down here.
Yeah, sick. There you go.
Appreciate it.
Awfully generous.
Yeah. This is home. This is home.
Very well. Don't die. You have much to pay me.
What? I can't hear you.
He's saying-
As we walk out of the Jarl's Hearth.
Very good. You wander up through the various streets of Union City and buy whatever items that we are going to decide you buy. And then, is the plan now to go to the barracks and Skydocks once you've done your shopping?
It would probably
We're
be
gonna
best.
secure the ship,
Or
then
is
go
it
to
Mara?
Yeah, yeah,
Or-
no, secure the ship, then Mara.
Yeah, Skydocks
Very
it
good.
is.
So you wander up to the barracks and Skydocks then. Edgius, there's probably that moment where you look at the gate that leads up to Kumari, which all of you now see as just a gate with no mist and that straight path up. You have that moment of thought about Takami as Callum then puts his arm around your shoulder. So, skyships, how much do you know about? And you two have a conversation and sort of wander up. Jewel and Lex, you lead the party. To again take a line out of Harry Potter, what is quite literally a bumbling, bambling band of buffoons, wander up closer to the Ebon Mirth. And as you step closer, an individual just drops down from sort of the side and flicks her hat up. 2 6-shooter revolvers either side of her. She's just going to look at you. Well. There's 2 faces I've not seen in a while. and you look at Vala Zathur, the gunslinger and gunner of the Ebon Mirth.
There's fucking
Shall I
guns
tell
in
Romeo
this
you're
world?
here? Oh yeah.
Sorry.
It is good to see you
so
too.
yeah, she just. You're looking both lighter and heavier in terms of individuals from when we last saw you, but
I have released a lot of tension, but also rediscovered a lot of baggage.
that's
Yeah,
not what I
that's
meant.
mean.
As in, like, there was 3 of you, now there's 5? 4? 5.
Oh, right.
As
Yeah,
pink-haired individual runs up.
we've got a lot more people on the team. We're a detective agency now.
You're a detective agency.
And I'll show them the badge.
We have
Still
we
half
have
cut.
come a long way. How is everyone on the ship?
We're all alive.
Was that a dig at me? Really?
Jules so sensitive.
I'd forgotten about that, but fuck, no, I'm really
I
sorry.
hadn't. Amazingly. It is all good. I am jesting.
Yeah,
It is
that was one hell of a journey.
no.
We've nearly died so many more times.
Yes, it has now become a weekly thing for me, honestly.
She's like Kenny
Romeo!
from South Park.
Romeo! And there's
Where's
a rope that
Romeo?
gets thrown out the side, and then the suavest motherfucker in a blue captain's coat with that sky blue sort of coiffed hair just descends down. Vala, why are you shouting me? Like, what is Oh! Jewel, Lex, long time no see.
Indeed. It is a pleasure to
New
find you
friends, I
in
see.
Union City.
Who is that handsome motherfucker at the back there?
Hello. Nice to meet you.
No, not you, the muscular one.
He means Kevin.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Kevin will just sort of... Hi. Let's get on the ship. Let's discuss. I'm guessing you need passage somewhere.
We certainly will do, indeed.
And come aboard. Everybody's gonna be really pleased to see you.
It is phenomenal to see you as well.
Indeed. But let's avoid any deaths on this voyage. Sorry, too soon.
No,
It's not going to go away, is it?
No,
It's really not going to go
No,
away.
no, it's not. No, it's not. Anyway, I actually have news for you as well. But yeah, let's discuss that later. Come on. And the ramp gets loaded down, and you can see the dwarven spotter, whose name has totally popped out of my head, even though it was there a minute ago. It's something runes here, but fuck it.
Roger
No, it's
the
not Roger.
cabin boy.
But you see Dis rend the automaton there. You see the dwarven lookout. Vala then steps up. You see the 2 Minotaur sort of deckhands and just general ship hands as Romeo then steps up, and you all enter onto the sky ship that is the Ebon Mirth. Now, Aegeus, for your sake, when you look at this ship, it is not like the majority of sky ships that you've seen in or that you may have come across in Ardalia, where they've got this massive balloon above them which has got some sort of air elemental trapped into it. There are these massive polished blue crystals that litter the side of this ship. And Lex would probably inform you as you go up the ramp that that is like pure mana stone, and mana stone is also
And I'll
another
show you
form
my
of a
Mana Stone necklace I've got.
Yeah. And it's
Oh, you've been
also
wearing
a
that. I've
purer
not seen it.
form. All game.
The whole
It is a
time.
purer form of a more common ore, which is known as Wrathstrike, which is this black obsidian-like crystal with blue and purple veins that litter through it, the background of our actual overlay. And the nuggets you can earn on Twitch. And there is, so there's an impure form and a pure form. The pure form is pure blue.
Okay. So, got these sick crystals. Like, in the world of Ardalia, how valuable would these crystals be? Are they like, is each one of those like...
Very valuable. They are beyond valuable.
So let me just ask this. You said that the ship is littered on the outside. When we're talking littered, or we're talking
They're all
whoa,
fixed
that's
in.
a lot. Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean,
So you've probably got...
Edgies did
There's probably
Abu-wise
5
then.
main crystals either side.
Would it seem like that, like removing one of those 5 would destabilize something from like my experience of knowing these things?
Who knows?
Just take
I will
one
say
head
that
from
these
your body,
5 crystals are probably easily the size of a teenage elephant, I'm going to say, or a middle-aged elephant. So not quite a full-grown elephant. They are fucking huge.
So, Edgius makes a note on another piece of paper which says things to steal. And he makes a note saying fucking giant crystal on the outside of the ship. Okay,
What he doesn't
cool.
know
Oh,
is
seeing
he's
you
actually
do
saying
that-
that out loud as well.
I'll tuck the master in my shirt now. Seeing him
Yeah.
eye them up, I'll tuck mine in my shirt because he's going to rob me in my sleep.
That's such a good point.
Callum is gonna
If we ever
saunter-
come in a financial
Go
fucking
on.
situation, we'll sell your bloody mana stone.
It's my arcane focus. It gives me powers.
It is.
You don't need, dude. That's
As you're all
arcane
sort of
focuses
doing
are
this and wandering
make-believe,
up the
dude.
track,
It's conspiracy theory.
Callum wanders over to Valor and sort of just takes her hand and kisses her on the knuckles. A pleasure, darling. I am Callum Verfleur, loosely associated with these individuals, and you are? And she just sort of looks him up and down. Yeah, I'm Valor. I'm the gunner. Get on. And he sort of goes, oh, very well.
Strike.
Edgius will walk up past the same person and be like, "Pff, gunner, sick, fist bump. That's it. Nothing more."
She sort of looks at it and just sort of, sure.
Good shit. Peace. And Edgius will
And you
walk past,
ate.
put an arm round Takami, and walk past this person.
And she will sort of be like, oh, no, down. This is the new thing. We need to talk, by the way. But you onto the ship.
I know, right? Dude, we do need to talk. How crazy is this skyship? Do you see those fucking crystals to come? And Edgius will then like go
Mirth.
off and think that that's what the conversation is about.
Do you have a mirth like here every other month? Like, I know this shit. Don't fuck around. And yeah, your conversation continues as you enter onto the ship. And Romeo sort of takes you up. You notice that there are some subtle changes to the Ebon Mirth now, where some damage was taken in previous battles. There are now these bronze copper like fixings which have been added. The actual helm now is not just a wooden wheel, but has actually got these bronze condoms, for want of a better term, but bronze endings on each of the spokes of the wheel. And yeah, it's looking like they've come into a little bit of money and been able to upgrade the ship somewhat. But yes, with that then, we are going to close episode 67. So, a massive thank you to everyone. It's a big roleplay episode, but well
was
worth
fun.
it. And thank you, Bodhi, for joining us. 'Cause
No,
I know
I
that
think
was,
thanks for
sort
having me,
of-
guys. Sorry I
all over the
came
place
in.
Oh no, it's
So
great,
late.
great of you to come in.
No, that worked.
I honestly
That
thought
worked.
we had made a good deal with the Lord of Winter until Callum and Edgy started asking us the details of the plan, and I was like, oh, I'm now questioning whether we did a good deal or not. No, I didn't think of that. No, didn't ask him that. No, didn't
If
classify that.
something's too good to be true, it usually
Probably is, but the point is we want
yeah.
to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good. So, with that being said, we return to Ardalia, not next week, but the week after, and there's going to be some weird stuff that goes on during that episode, because I do need to drop out for about 15 minutes at about 8 o'clock. But that being said, next week, please do not miss out, because our very own Mr. Wizard steps into the GM's chair as we do session one. Are we calling it session 1, episode 1, Dave?
Yeah, episode 1 of we are playing our sort of version, or we're playing along with the rule set of Monster of the Week. We're going to be setting it. It's very heavily inspired story on Supernatural, the TV series. If anyone has ever watched it, Monster of the Week is also very heavily inspired by it, as well as many other Supernatural-esque TV shows, and other books and so on and so forth. I am very heavily inspiring it off Supernatural, and it is going to be that. It is going to be based in Great Britain in modern times, following 4 avid and worthy hunters as they follow a deep mystery.
I can use my real accent. Odie's got to be British. Odie's got to be British.
People can travel.
No one is going to worry about accents, because they're not going to get any particular accents out of me. So you're all fine. It's going to be great fun. We're all going to have a riot. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I know that these guys are too. So come along and join us next week for episode 1 of a mini series, and we will find out exactly how long that's going to take. I am very psyched for it.
Longer than you think, Dave. Longer than
100%. That's why I've done very little, like, this is how far you need to get, because I realise we're going to have to cut a lot of it already.
That's all right. It can just become a recurring thing.
Exactly.
So yes, this will be our next mini-series in sort of different systems that we're trying out and bringing to you as part of Malt and Magic, just to mix things up a little bit. And provide different content, and also shorter form content as well, because I appreciate keeping up with long form campaigns can be a struggle. But that being said, thank you to all my players for another amazing evening. It's good to have Callum back. I have got far too many NPCs to play now, so I think I'm going to have to start killing them off. But yes, I am very much looking forward to next week. And yes, this has been episode 67. We have been the Malt and Magic crew, plus Callum and Takami. We'll see you next week.